I went into the tomb. I found the crown that your ancient High Kings wore upon their heads.
And now you count on using it to lean upon the leader you have chose to reign.
Yes. I need to be certain that the one elected High King helps me encounter Enon Milfrictiman.
I already promised you my help in this matter. But the question left unanswered is this. Do you wish that your people may continue to settle here? For our mutual benefit?
Take it. I hope you will keep your word and make good on your promise.
The Council is beginning to unite. It is time I left you. Thank you for having given me the crown. I will not forget your help. I promise you this.
Congratulations on your new position, Ulan. You undoubtedly will prove yourself worthy, but it is time you kept your promise. I must meet Enon Milfrictiman as soon as possible.
I have not forgotten the gift you gave me when you handed me the crown, nor have I forgotten our agreement. But first, I must go to the sanctuary myself, Karats. In accordance with our tradition, meet me at the sanctuary's entrance in 2 days. I will then have spoken with Enon Milfrictiman, and I will be able to honor the promise I made.
In 2 days? Very well. I'll be there.
I hope you have some cards or dice on you to pass the time, unless you'd rather go somewhere else.
All you have to do is to bind yourself here, with me. And we will be gods together, forever. Come.
Good night, sweet prince.
After the fall of Constantine, things went back to the way they were. The settlers kept flowing in, and the influence of the old nations on the island increased. It relegated the natives to small enclaves around their villages. The Malachor devastated everything, and eventually even appeared on Aphra. Those who bravely fought at Dorhad Genadu were celebrated everywhere. After all, if it weren't for this unlikely alliance, the island would have fallen into Constantine's greedy hands. Sieglinde took Kurt as an advisor, but he insisted on keeping his place alongside his former student and friend, watching her back as he always had. Siora obtained the title of Marl of the Red Spears alongside her twin. She leads them with wisdom, but often reunites with the one she still calls her Karants. Aphra set aside her weapons and went back to her research on the native culture and flora of the island. It is said that she is even writing a book with the help of Dunkasi's clan when not visiting her friends. For his bravery, Vasco was awarded the rank of commander. He now travels the sea at the head of a whole fleet, but he often comes back to visit his sister-in-arms. Petrus's ambitions have finally been fulfilled. He obtained the much-coveted title of Cardinal. Despite the responsibilities implied by such a title, he still sometimes visits the one he calls his child. Under Ulan's authority, the face of the island changed. New mines, fields, and sawmills appeared. Cities became larger. All of this contributed to the wealth and power of the Sisag-Names clan, at the expense of the others. Her friendship with Aranaigse helped Deirdre to overcome her reticence. She willfully accepted to follow the orders of her new High King. Thanks to the help Dunkasi's clan received, it continued on its mission to heal the Earth. It attracted many young islanders who were eager to learn. Following the investigations revealing the horrifying practices of Dr. Asili, the Alliance changed their methods and even appointed an ethics council to oversee the work of its scholars. The public revelations of Saint Matthias's life led to a deep change in Teleme. The Ordo Luminis was dismantled for good, and the missionaries' purpose is now to establish dialogue rather than conversion. Now that the Naut's sailing techniques were known, others tried their hand at them, without success for the time being. Simply knowing the techniques could not take the place of the Guild's centuries of experience. Under Sieglinde's control, the Guard returned to the honorable values that had made its reputation, despite the negative influence of some shady members in their midst.
I went into the tomb. I found the ancient crown of the High Kings.
And so you entered into one of our most sacred places. May this adventure have brought you wisdom and understanding of our people, and of your own history. This relic is venerated. The one who wears it will certainly be elected. But you know that, do you not?
Yes, I do. I need to be certain that whoever is named will help me meet Enon Milfrichteman.
I have pledged my honor to help you, and my words are true. But more is being played here than a simple meeting. You know that I work for a tempering of spirits, the healing of wounds of Tifredi, and those of your own continent. But the decision is yours. To the daughter that was lost and refound on our island.
Take it. I trust you. In your wisdom, may we be guided towards a peaceful future.
The Council has begun to unite. It is time for me to go. Thank you for choosing me. I will do all in my power to bring you what you desire. You have my promise.
Congratulations, Dunkus. I'm certain that you will be a very wise High King. And now, are you ready to keep your promise and take me to meet with Enon Mil Frichtemann?
You are burning with the impatience of youth. But according to tradition, I must first go to the sanctuary on my own. Without the blessing of Tifradi, my title is nothing but empty, meaningless words. But fret not. How could I be called wise if I went back on the promise I made my friend as soon as I got elected? Meet me at the sanctuary's entrance in 2 days, and I will open its doors for you.
Thank you, Dunkus. I'll be there.
Come.
Good night, sweet prince.
After the fall of Constantine, my young student managed to establish stronger links between the old nations and the natives. Some of their Donegada were even invited to the continent, and with their help, it slowly became a land filled with life again. And for the first time in a long while, the number of cases of the Malicor is decreasing. Those who bravely fought at Dorhad Genadu were celebrated everywhere. After all, if it weren't for this unlikely alliance, the island would have fallen into Constantine's greedy hands. Sieglinde took Kurt as an advisor, but he insisted on keeping his place alongside his former student and friend, watching her back as he always had. Siora obtained the title of Marl of the Red Spears alongside her twin. She leads them with wisdom, but often reunites with the one she still calls her Karants. Aphra set aside her weapons and went back to her research on the native culture and flora of the island. It is said that she is even writing a book with the help of Dunkas's clan when not visiting her friends. For his bravery, Vasco was awarded the rank of commander. He now travels the sea at the head of a whole fleet, but he often comes back to visit his sister-in-arms. Petrus's ambitions have finally been fulfilled. He obtained the much-coveted title of Cardinal. Despite the responsibilities implied by such a title, he still sometimes visits the one he calls his child. Despite the help Ulan received, which allowed him to restore the importance of the seaside Nemeus, he still had to renounce the role of Marl as he faced the contempt of the other clans. Her friendship with Aranaikse helped Deirdre to overcome her reticence. She willfully accepted to follow the orders of her new High King. Dunkas and his people spent a lot of time with savants and theologians. Patiently, they shared their knowledge of the earth and learnt new techniques from one another, and in so doing, they restored balance between the new world and the old. Following the investigations revealing the horrifying practices of Dr. Asili, the Alliance changed their methods and even appointed an ethics council to oversee the work of its scholars. The public revelations of Saint Matthias's life led to a deep change in Teleme. The Ordo Luminis was dismantled for good, and the missionaries' purpose is now to establish dialogue rather than conversion. Now that the Naut's sailing techniques were known, others tried their hand at them, without success for the time being. Simply knowing the techniques could not take the place of the Guild's centuries of experience. Under Sieglinder's control, the Guard returned to the honorable values that had made its reputation, despite the negative influence of some shady members in their midst.
Ah, Your Excellency. I was talking about your exploits to Captain Ulrich.
Your Excellency?
Captain, Lieutenant, Quartermaster Manfred informed me that you had made several arrests.
Indeed. Lieutenant Ermelind confessed, which enabled us to flush out most of the gang.
I can't quite believe that all the arrested men are involved in this case. I know many of them, and could have sworn they were honorable people.
I'm sorry, Captain. I understand. It's a shock. We were all sure that our comrades would never be involved in this kind of thing.
Will you continue the investigation?
Of course. We can't stop our research until we've completely dismantled this organization.
Lieutenant Alexander was asking me to transfer him to New Serene, to be a part of the investigation there.
To manage it, if you allow it, my captain. I was honored to participate in the interrogations of Lieutenant Ermelind, and to be able to arrest all these criminals. I would not want to leave things half-finished.
As I told you, Lieutenant, I can't approve the transfer of an officer from another garrison. I must refer to the commander.
In any case, we're most grateful for your help. But we can now bring this investigation to an end without you.
I see. What goes on in the Guard is the Guard's own business.
It's a bit like that, yes. We can't let the actions of a small group compromise the reputation of the whole Guard.
You forget, once again, that you have not yet obtained your transfer, Lieutenant. In the meantime, please be dismissed.
At your orders, Captain. Goodbye, Your Excellency.
I'm sorry you had to hear this call to order. This lieutenant is inclined to forget who he's speaking to.
It must be the enthusiasm of youth.
It's possible. In any case, and contrary to what he said, we will still need your help.
Why's that?
Lieutenant Alexander claims that Ermelin's confession allowed him to arrest all these men. But I attended one of these interrogations, and all she talked about was a secret camp. The one in which Torsten's recruits received their special instruction for the coup d'etat. If I understood correctly, this place was taken back and used by the criminal organization. But our lieutenant did not mention it, which surprised me, and led me to doubt his sincerity. Perhaps Alexander failed to report it to increase his prestige later.
But he could have another motive. So you would like us to go there?
Indeed. And I'd like to accompany you. I am no longer a field officer, but I still know how to hold my own. And I want to see this case with my own eyes. You know the place, so you will be my guide.
Very well, Captain. You can count on me.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I will get going right away. Will you come with me?
Yes, I'm ready. Let's hurry.
We're almost there.
How would you like to proceed, Captain?
By the book. We'll go through the whole camp, neutralizing any threat.
A bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go. Poison on my
blade! And let's go! Poison on my blade, and let's go! Bit of poison on my blade, and let's go!
It's blocked. It's Sergeant Franz. Poor man. He paid dearly for the help he gave us.
He was beaten to death.
Quartermaster Herbert ordered him to accompany Lieutenant Alexander to answer Manfred's questions, but he never made it to New Serene.
I was sure that the lieutenant was not genuine. He must be involved. Bit of poison on my blade. And let's go! Watch out! Bit of poison on my blade. And let's go!
Watch out! Grenade! It looks like poison.
It's a deadly combination. It can cause death in an instant.
This document talks about eliminating the witnesses to the case.
Manfred and us are definitely on that list. Lieutenant Klaus, so you are part of this disgusting plot.
Lay down your weapons, Lieutenant. Any resistance is futile. Your troops have been decimated.
I will not surrender, Your Excellency. Death is sweeter than the price of treason.
If you speak, we will be lenient.
You, maybe, but Egon, I doubt it. Farewell.
He's poisoned.
The plague. I'd have liked to have questioned that traitor.
These letters are signed by Egon. We must go to the office of the leader of these criminals.
We could study the handwriting to find out who's behind this pseudonym. We did a good job, Your Excellency. Egon will never come back from a hit like this.
Certainly. But we know that there are still criminals amongst your troops, including their leader.
We know that Lieutenant Alexander is involved in all this. The sergeant's body, and the fact that he didn't tell us about this camp, are telltale signs. Perhaps he will be able to provide us with a lead. Otherwise, we still have these letters.
Remember that we are targets. Just like Manfred, we will have to stay alert.
You're right. Let's get back to New Serene as soon as possible. You'll hand over the evidence to Quartermaster Manfred and assure yourself of his safety. I will go and ask our insolent lieutenant for an explanation.
Your Excellency, I wasn't sure I'd see you alive again.
How did you know we were here? Did the captain tell you?
He was arrested while coming back here. Lieutenant Alexander said he was finally reported by his accomplices.
That lieutenant has some nerve. We know he's involved. We found the body of the sergeant who was to accompany him here. He got rid of him to punish him for helping us, or to stop him from revealing more. We also found this document saying that everyone who knows about the case should be eliminated. You're in danger, and they've already found a way to get rid of the captain.
Most of the men who are loyal to him are in jail. I can't do anything without help. I've been trying to get the commander. If anybody can restore order to all of this, she can.
Here, take this evidence and show it to her.
Alas, there's nothing in there that clearly indicates who Egon is.
The recent actions of Lieutenant Alexander suggest that he's the brains behind this operation. And we only have to compare his handwriting with these letters to be sure.
I'm going to join the commander, but you should intervene. I'm afraid he'll get rid of the captain.
Your Excellency! What a joy to see you again. We finally stopped Egon. The captain will be happy.
Naturally, and that is why you were surrounded by the men I apprehended. We visited your secret camp and found the body of poor Sergeant Franz, who, in spite of his death, continues to betray you. You are a member of this organization, Lieutenant. And when we compare your handwriting to the letters we have seized, it wouldn't surprise me to discover that Egon is none other than you.
We prepared a discreet death for you, worthy of your uncle's court. A little poison, and our troublesome diplomat would have been out of the way. But since you leave us with no choice, finish them. It'll be a real pleasure.
Finally, our revenge has come.
Poison on my brain. Let's go!
Watch out! Grenade!
No, no, no! Why did you have to stick your nose in our business?
If you had not been so careless, so eager to get rich and climb to the top, maybe we would never have discovered your operations. Surrender, Alexander. Unless you prefer Egon.
Let me go! I could make you rich.
I doubt that the commander would find that arrangement acceptable.
Wretches!
Your Excellency, Lieutenant Alexander was court-martialed and will soon be executed.
You have my gratitude, Your Excellency. Without you, this assassin would have probably strangled me in prison.
Manfred gave me all the evidence you gathered and told me about the case. I'm just sorry he didn't tell me about it sooner.
My apologies, Commander. But you've been so busy since starting your new position. I never thought the case would be so big.
Be that as it may, the high-ranking culprits have been punished, and the foot soldiers will be sent back to the continent. A few months on the front should bring them back to reality. We owe you so much, Your Excellency. Without you, the Guard would probably be nothing more than a band of brigands. I am extremely grateful. I will not forget what you did for us.
Don't mention it, Commander.
After the fall of Constantine, my young student managed to establish stronger links between the old nations and the natives. Some of their Donegada were even invited to the continent, and with their help, it slowly became a land filled with life again. And for the first time in a long while, the number of cases of the Malicor is decreasing. Those who bravely fought at Dorhad Genadu were celebrated everywhere. After all, if it weren't for this unlikely alliance, the island would have fallen into Constantine's greedy hands. Sieglinde took Kurt as an advisor, but he insisted on keeping his place alongside his former student and friend, watching her back as he always had. Siora obtained the title of Marl of the Red Spears alongside her twin. She leads them with wisdom, but often reunites with the one she still calls her Karants. Aphra set aside her weapons and went back to her research on the native culture and flora of the island. It is said that she is even writing a book with the help of Dunkas's clan when not visiting her friends. For his bravery, Vasco was awarded the rank of commander. He now travels the sea at the head of a whole fleet, but he often comes back to visit his sister-in-arms. Petrus's ambitions have finally been fulfilled. He obtained the much-coveted title of Cardinal. Despite the responsibilities implied by such a title, he still sometimes visits the one he calls his child. Despite the help Ulan received, which allowed him to restore the importance of the seaside Nemeus, he still had to renounce the role of Marl as he faced the contempt of the other clans. Her friendship with the Renaigse helped Deirdre to overcome her reticence. She willfully accepted to follow the orders of her new High King. Dunkas and his people spent a lot of time with savants and theologians. Patiently, they shared their knowledge of the earth and learnt new techniques from one another, and in so doing, they restored balance between the New World and the Old. Following the investigations revealing the horrifying practices of Dr. Asili, the Alliance changed their methods and even appointed an ethics council to oversee the work of its scholars. The public revelations of Saint Matthias's life led to a deep change in Teleme. The Ordo Luminis was dismantled for good, and the missionaries' purpose is now to establish dialogue rather than conversion. Now that the Naut sailing techniques were known, others tried their hand at them, without success for the time being. Simply knowing the techniques could not take the place of the Guild's centuries of experience. Under Sieglinde's control, the Guard returned to the honorable values that had made its reputation. And they did so all the more easily, now that their shadiest members were out of the picture.
Just a few more minutes. You have such an incredibly singular face. That's a compliment, my lord, out of my mouth. Your particularity gives you character.
You're still here?
we've nearly finished. Have you any more need of me, Master?
You haven't forgotten that we're setting sail today, have you?
Of course not.
Your cousin is nowhere to be found. I've searched the palace from cellars to attics. Your uncle is beside himself.
He was of a mind to paint the town last night. Don't worry, I shall track him down. Make care to your own preparations without wrinkling another frown. We'll meet you on the boat.
It's about time your cousin took account of the responsibilities awaiting him. He should go and inform the ambassadors of Teleme and the Bridge Alliance of his departure.
Have no fear, Master. I will go and see them in his name.
Desade, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
What did you think about that moment next to the campfire with the elders of Vigigador?
It was strange, and a bit frustrating, to be honest. What about you? How did you feel?
I was touched by the way the elders talked about those young people. About their bond. Were you not?
It's true. It seemed as if they thought that their bond would allow them to acquire more knowledge. In my culture, it is the other way around. We are told that romantic feelings are nothing but a distraction.
And? Taking into consideration what we've learned, what do you think now?
I still have a lot to learn. I'm glad you were there to help me understand this. Perhaps those elders are right. Perhaps some bonds allow you to acquire more knowledge together. Anything else?
How did you feel when we visited the cave?
Astonishment, I think. I felt as if I had reached my goal, as if I was finding a long-lost treasure. It was strangely moving, I think. What about you?
It was a grace-filled moment indeed. And these rudimentary paintings taught us so much. I would never have thought that mere murals could contain so much knowledge.
Because we looked at them in a different way. To us, these paintings were more than just decorations. They were like a window into some knowledge that was completely foreign to us. I used to swear only by writings, but now I realize that there are many other ways to learn. And once more, I owe this realization to you. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Anything else?
Do you think that attending this ceremony has changed your world vision?
Yes, obviously. Before it, I was so focused on my own knowledge. This ritual made me understand the power of sharing, of emotions, and of the bonds between people. This new vision gives me new perspectives. A whole new life is ahead of me.
I hope I'll be lucky enough to be by your side.
We share amazing memories now. A bond has been created between us, too. And I can't imagine this new life without you by my side. Anything else?
I must leave you.
I'm glad you came to see me. I wanted to talk to you.
I'm listening.
I'm still a bit inexperienced when it comes to these emotional things. My feelings and my desires. But I believe that we share something unique. That a bond has been created between us. And if you were so inclined, I'd love to spend some time alone with you.
It would be my pleasure. Meet me outside my room the next time we return to my house.
I'll be there. Anything else?
I must leave you.
I'm a bit nervous. I've read many books on this subject, but they don't say anything about the way I feel right now. May I come in?
Come on. Forget about the books for a bit.
Yet another marvelous memory shared with you. And this one only belongs to us. I feel as if my heart is exploding. I've never felt this way about anyone. I suppose this is how it feels to be in love. Do you feel the same?
Yes, Aphra. I'm fairly certain this is love. And I love you too.
Why, it's such a peculiar sensation. And it's so tremendous. Ah, my beloved.